So how is your wallet handling Trump's tariffs and the rising cost of inflation this summer? I'm David Thompson. The U.S. economy right now is experiencing moderating inflation. That's compared to its peak in 2022. We're going to talk about why that is. But first, let's get another lesson here on tariffs, because many people are still confused. A tariff is a tax on incoming goods. Now, President Donald Trump told us that those countries that send the goods into our country will pay for those tariffs. His propaganda minister, Fraulein Caroline Leavitt, says the same thing over and over again. None of that's true, because if it was, why did Donald Trump tell Walmart a little over a month ago to eat the cost of the tariffs? If they weren't paying them, why would they have to eat the costs? You see, this double standard of thought is what's confusing America. We pay the tariffs here. Many companies, out of the goodness of their heart, didn't pass the cost of tariffs on to the customer yet. They will. Many have already done so. Walmart stated it will and has. We'll talk about Walmart a little later in the program. So we know that the costs of items that we buy are going up. But how much, and why didn't they go up faster? We'll talk about that. First of all, in May, and I got May's data here for some reason, prices rose 2.41% year over year. Okay, that's still about where we thought we would be. But why isn't it going higher? First of all, remember, tariffs have been applied in a staggered manner. There's no rhyme or reason to it. One day it's 30%, 145%, 10%, 20%, all over the board, and there's still these big negotiations that have not taken place. He was supposed to, and that's our president, Donald Trump, was going to have 90 deals in 90 days. That never happened. He's had conversations. They've made some agreements where they might go, but they're not deals, they're not signed, it's all baloney. A lie. He has not got 90 deals done. So guess what? Tariffs are still all over the board, and guess what? Who's paying for them? Oh, me and you. I digress. Also remember that it takes time for prices to filter through the economy. The suppliers and the buyers of products from overseas bought extra inventory, a lot of extra inventory. Some of the inventory is still in their warehouses, still in their stores at the original prices. So they're not going to be affected. You will get the same price you did 6 months ago. But when that stock runs out, you'll be hammered. Boom, right in the face. Prices did rise in some sectors: major appliances, audio equipment, and auto parts. Car prices fell, but we now know that automakers like Ford already stated they will raise prices pretty much in July and August. We're seeing that now. That'll show up in August CPI. So we know that it takes time for tariffs to filter through the economy, sometimes up to 3 months. So some of the price increases related to tariffs might not be seen in stores until August, right when you need to buy more stuff for your kids when you go back to school. College kids, high school kids, grade school kids. All that stuff will cost more. And it probably already does, but it might be much more by then. Now, right now, the labor market is in equilibrium. Businesses are not hiring, and yet they're not firing a lot. There's an equilibrium there. You see, this is because of uncertainty. Understand, people talk to me and they go, well, I don't see anything bad happening. There are things bad happening. Prices are going up. People are getting laid off. There are companies ready to cut back or not invest in new equipment, not invest in new factories. All that is happening. You don't see it, but it's going to happen. But right now, keep in mind that we're on hold because Donald Trump's policies are all over the board. He has literally frozen America. He has literally frozen business in America. And in some cases, he's sending many of them overboard. Walmart's one of them. And again, I'm going to talk about Walmart in a bit here. Consumers are struggling. Delinquencies on credit cards and loans are up massively. Repossessions of cars are up. Right down the street here, there's a small car dealer on the corner. Buy it here, pay here. They're used cars. Some of them are high mileage. I know people that bought cars from them. They told a friend of mine that they have been repoing cars every day, more than they've ever repoed. And it's not just that car dealer. It's car dealers across this country. People are buying cars they can't afford. Why? Because car prices are so high. For me, I need a new vehicle. I can't afford to go buy one. I refuse to. It would be a used vehicle, but even used vehicles are expensive. Payments, $300, $400, $500 for new cars, $600. The sky's the limit. And sometimes you can finance them to 8 years, 9 years. This is crazy. But when you don't have enough money coming in, that's a luxury to pay $500 for a car payment, I would think. Okay, most of the savings households had built up over the pandemic. Now, we're going to go back to the pandemic here. A lot of people, not everybody. Remember, some people didn't save anything. They just bought TVs, didn't pay their rent. Remember that? But a lot of people saved the money they got from the government, saved the paychecks. That savings is now pretty much done for these people. They're tapped out. You ever do Muay Thai? I did. Tap out. Tap out or get your arm broke, right? People are tapping out everywhere. And also remember, it's not just because people's savings are tapped out. It's because everything costs more, so their paycheck doesn't stretch as far. So you either have to cut back on what you're buying, not buy steak, buy ground beef, buy ramen noodles. You're down to that, right? And save money. So a data weave analysis of 200,000 products on 13 major U.S. economic sites showed that prices have risen since January. So we know that prices have risen. Listen to this. Home and furniture prices have accelerated for the past 5 months as compared to January, up 1.1% in February, 2.1% in March, 2.8% in April, 3.7% in May, and 4.7% in June. So if you're going to buy furniture, don't, because it's about 5% higher as of June. And who knows in July here. Now, I'll be honest with you. My story here is I don't go to Bob's or to anybody to buy furniture. No. I've been gifted furniture. I'll say it. I'll be honest. Nice furniture, mostly good furniture. People had furniture they used, didn't want it anymore. They gifted it to me. Pretty nice stuff. Lawn furniture I got. Thank you, Diana. You know, I got stuff that I wouldn't have to go out and buy. Nice stuff. Not new. Nice. And yes, I go to the City Mission. You know, I go there and I'll buy some clothes there. I can't afford to go buy clothes at even Walmart, let alone the Gap or some of these other higher end places. I can't afford to do that. $70 for jeans? How do you do it? People, how do you do it with children? How's that even work? Apparel and footwear prices were fairly flat in February through May, but show a little higher in June. I'll tell you about footwear. I knew 2 teenagers, they work and they had some money. And they told me, wow, we made some money working this summer. I have $250 saved. I go, what are you going to do with that money? It doesn't seem like a lot. That's a lot of money, they said. They said, I might buy shoes. Then the one girl said, well, I worked at a shoe store. And the average was $90 to $150 on the shoes they would buy. That $200 doesn't go far if you're looking at a $125, $130 pair of shoes. Okay, so where does that money come from if you need to buy clothes and a top and whatever else you need for school? Where do you get that money? Do you just keep wearing the same clothes? Yes, that's exactly what I do. Some price hikes are even greater at some retailers. For example, toys at Walmart and Target were up 7.4% and 6.1% from January versus the average increase of 3.8% respectively. Walmart's raising prices. Now remember, when I say 7.4%, that's from their target price. Get it, Target too? Their target price, because Walmart is known and always has been known for low prices compared to everybody else. So they're raising prices to match other retailers. It's going up, and those retailers will then follow suit and raise their prices. That's how it works. So we got some trouble here. Now, in an interview with CNN, the CEO of a company called DataWeave, who collects retail information about prices, said this. He said, we anticipate a further and broader price creep in the coming months as tariffs ripple through the supply chain. And given ongoing pushback on high prices, he expected there also will be a rise in shrinkflation, in which brands may trim package sizes and private label expansion. Shrinkflation. I've talked about this a long time ago. We've always had shrinkflation. For those of you that don't know what that is, it's inflation, but it's not in prices. It's in the size of the portion of a package you buy or something you buy in a restaurant. They make it smaller. Here's a little news I had. I went to a restaurant right out here, and I remember going and getting a roast beef sandwich. That roast beef sandwich was this big. I don't know if you can see compared to my head. This big with fries, gravy on everything. I just got it there Sunday. That bad boy was this big. Okay, and the fries were this big. Shrinkflation. We see it everywhere. Everywhere. For instance, I just went to an ice cream shop right up the road. I always get an extra large twist cone, and it was this big on top of the cone. You want to know how big that was this time? This big. Compressed. It's everywhere. Big business, small business. They're finding ways to shrink what they give you. Shrinkflation. That's because people then still pay the same amount, but they don't always notice that they're getting less. How about that bag of chips? Used to be 15 ounces. Same size bag, it's now 12 ounces. Same price. Okay, let's talk about Walmart. It's the canary in the coal mine, right? Walmart, the king of kings when it comes to retail. Now, Walmart said that in early June they are going to start raising prices. This is July. They already did. It's safe to say that if Walmart starts raising prices, Target and other retailers will follow. They're doing so. Take it from me. Now, just recently, billions of dollars were wiped out of Walmart's valuation. The data revealed a gloomy economic outlook among Americans' consumers. Walmart's share price fell 3.1% by market close, resulting in its market capitalization falling by $22 billion. $22 billion. That's a lot of money, folks. Now, Trump, remember, told Walmart to eat the tariffs. Remember that war is still going on, and Walmart pretty much told him, no, we're not. So Walmart announced just recently they're going to start closing distribution centers. I'm understanding it could be from 3 to 5. These are big deals. They employ a lot of people, not just in the distribution part, the supply chain part, but also it ripple effects through the community. Of course, you're going to have truck drivers, specialists when it comes to cleaning the warehousing. All these people that are related to that particular distribution center are going to be gone. Ripple effect, right? Ripple effect. A tree doesn't fall in a forest without making a sound. It makes a sound, whether you're there or not. Boom. People laid off. With consumers already showing signs of reeling in their spending habits, as Walmart's CEO has recently warned, the retail sector could be hit hard if confidence fails to recover and the country continues on its path towards an economic downturn. Given consumer spending is estimated to account for over 2/3 of the country's GDP. I've talked about this many times on this program. Sustained low confidence could itself increase the odds of a recession occurring in the near future. Walmart's $22 billion loss was accompanied by chip maker NVIDIA, which experienced a 0.6% drop in its share price, leading to a $17 billion decline in its overall market cap. Whoa, baby! Okay, so the retail decline coincides with the Conference Board's monthly report on American consumer confidence, which revealed another concerning drop. The Consumer Confidence Index fell to 92.9 points in March, retreating for a fourth consecutive month and reaching its lowest level since early 2021. What went on in early 2021? Oh yeah, that was still the pandemic. That was the height of economic chaos. So the uncertainty we're seeing in the economy, in the Trump administration, with conflicting policy statements, on-again, off-again tariffs, will only lead to less consumer confidence. It will eventually lead to businesses laying off, to investors not coming and investing in the United States. Now, this uncertainty will create a ripple effect, a doom loop. It will cause more and more jobs to be lost, and as more jobs are lost, more businesses close, investors will not invest in America. We will see a spiraling downward of our way of life. just like I predicted many years ago. Our demise will come from within, not because of China and the BRICS or Europe or Ukraine or anybody else. Our demise is baked in the goods. Poor decision making. Donald Trump is just adding to that problem. And keep in mind, Donald Trump is not the problem. He is not the solution either. He's just a symptom of a bigger problem, of an America that is now at the end of its time. The empire that once was is collapsing, just like every other empire has done. That's all the time I have. Please like, subscribe, and share our video. Remember to go over to our sister channel, Nights Around the Fire, where we investigate legends, mysteries, and myths. 2 more videos are done, in the can, ready to be posted. I know you will enjoy those videos. Go over and watch. And remember, God loves you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow, right here on the best channel for news and information, analysis, and commentary, The David Tomsic Show. See you then.